Hey, welcome back to Club Junkies. What's in the bag? It's usually league night, but league has been long over, so we'll call it week, I think 25 or 26, but league's long gone. So it's kind of turned into my what's in the bag for media trips because we're at that point of the season where stuff's starting to wind down. We're going to start looking into 2026 gear and what's going to be coming out, and I'm going to be, fortunately, making a lot of trips to some OEMs to see what is coming for next year. So I've got an OEM trip lined up. We're going to go out there, see probably some new stuff, which will be pretty awesome. And this is the bag that I'm going to bring with me. Now, unfortunately, last week, my bag that I put together, I didn't get to play. Just had too much stuff going on. It's, life as a parent and all that. You don't always get to play when you want to. But this one here, you're going to take a guess of where I'll be going with this bag. But it should be a whole lot of fun and excited to go and check out some new product. So thankfully, when you go on these trips, you do get to play a round of golf usually, sometimes more than one. So that's always awesome. And hopefully this one, it is the same because I'd like to play some golf and I haven't been able to do it recently around here. So we're going to start from the top as we always do. And driver is going to be PXG 0311 Black Ops. This is the standard Black Ops one. I think this driver is kind of sneaky good. People don't really know about it. It's super forgiving. I know in certain instances, if you get the head weight right, this is a 10K driver. But PXG has a lot going on with these things. I think these are the best woods, the Black Ops, the best woods they have ever made by far. This thing here is actually really stable, really forgiving. Ball speed's really solid. It's not crazy spinny for being a super forgiving, more 10K based driver. Now this one is a 9-degree head. When I went and got fit, that's what I got fit into. It's a little bit low launch for me when I got it home and got back to kind of the normal swing into out on the course. But we've got 3 movable weights on the outside, heavy weight back, lighter weights up front. So kind of push some of that weight back, a little bit higher launch, a little bit more forgiveness. And this thing sets up really nice. It's got a good look to it. The crown's got a little bit of carbon on it, all gloss, but it's overall a good shape. It's a little stretched out from front to back, a little bit triangular, but not too bad. Overall, a really good looking driver. Face is, for what it is, fairly deep. It's not too bad. It's not too shallow or anything like that, which you tend to see with a lot of these more forgiving drivers. But yeah, really solid head and really, really good from PXG. If you haven't tried one of these, the Black Ops drivers, they are really solid. So again, 9-degree head. I've set it in standard. This is just the standard loft on this one, standard lie. Just running it as normal. Now, usually 9 degrees is a little bit low launch for me, but we're going to go with a high launch driver shaft to go with it. So this is the LA Golf Gold Series. So this is their kind of high launch shaft, kind of high launch mid spin. Definitely has a little bit of a softer tip section, still got a pretty stiff handle. This one here is a 65X, but it definitely plays a little bit softer. It's definitely got some flex to it, and when you do hit it, you can feel most of the flex happen down near the tip section. So it's helped promoting some added launch, helps get the ball up in the air, while still being really smooth, good feel to it, really consistent, and overall it's just been a solid shaft. It's one that I don't pull off the wall enough, but when I do, it is nice to put it in a head like this that needs a little added launch to it, while not after worrying about directionally where it's going. The dispersion is really tight. So yeah, LA Golf Gold Series 65X into the PXG Black Ops 9-degree head. So this will be a driver there for the week. And then 3-wood or fairway wood is going to be PXG Black Ops. You can see where we're going with this. So this is the PXG Black Ops 3-wood. It's a 15-degree head. Again, I love the fact that they have movable weights and adjustable hosel. You can really kind of dial this thing in. And the big thing with this one, I love what they did with this because with this one here, the Black Ops, compared to maybe Gen 5 and some of the others, if you went up in loft a little bit, the head kind of got shut. You would really see a closed face. This one here is a 15-degree head. I've got it turned up 1. I believe it's up 1 and flat. And it looks actually really square. When you set it down, it doesn't look closed, looks pretty much dead square, and that's pretty nice. So 16 degrees, playing a little bit more like a 4-wood. I love the larger head size on it. It's super stable, super forgiving, but also too, it's got a slightly deeper face on it. So if you're gonna hit it off the tee, which I typically do on a lot of par 4s and things like that, this thing here works really well. It's super versatile. You can hit off the deck. It goes really high. It's just really easy. And then again, you can kind of dial this in with some heavier weights. Mine here, I believe in this one, same thing. Heavy weight is in the back, lighter weight's in the front. So again, added launch, a little bit added forgiveness there, but really stable, really straight. You can kind of hit it all over the face, and it pretty much just wants to produce a straight ball flight. Hit it off the tee, all that. It's just one of those that I like the fact that you can do a whole lot with it. So I've hit this really well over the past kind of year that I've had it, maybe a little bit more, and it's always been a really, really solid 3-wood. Now, this is shafted up with a Graphite Design VR 7 stiff flex, so 70 gram VR. So this is again kind of that mid to mid-high launch, mid-spin shaft from Graphite Design. Again, really smooth, helps promote some high launch without like feeling like a noodle or feeling really loose. This thing here is going to give you tight dispersion while still giving you the height, especially off the deck for me when I do need to hit this thing off the turf. This shaft here helps get that ball in the air, have it land a little bit softer, a little bit more carry, so you're not just hitting this like crazy low line drive into the green and having zero control over where it's going to stop. This will at least help get it up in the air a little bit and make it a little bit more controllable. But this thing here, again, I just love the versatility of it, and you know, I like almost the fact that it's almost like tiny mini driver-esque when you set it down, because it does look really, really that good. So we're gonna go with the 3-wood there. And then the next club in the bag is usually 7-wood for me, and it will be 7-wood here also. And this is going to be the PXG 0311 Black Ops 7-wood. Yes, the matching 7-wood to the 3-wood. And again, this thing here, I love the fact that it's super adjustable. We've got heavyweight in the back, lighter weights in the front, again, to promote a little bit higher launch. There's a 21-degree head, and it is actually set just standard. It's playing 21 degrees, set in there. And the only thing I wish PXG would do, I wish they would put the markings out on the adapter so you can kind of see what they were when they're together, but oh well. So I had to take it apart to even look at it to see what it was, because I haven't looked at it in a while. But a really good 7-wood, and again, I like the fact that if you do need to go up or down in loft, the face angle doesn't change a ton. It still looks, you know, really square at address. And again, I like the fact that these have a little bit deeper faces. I've had no problem hitting them off the deck, and I'm not someone who usually hits fairway woods really well off the deck. So if I'm able to hit it, almost anybody is. But you can hit off the deck, goes high, gets up in the air, lands soft, really nice. But I love the fact that you can still hit it off the tee, because like the Ping G440, great 7-wood, but the face is shallow, and I get a little intimidated hitting that one off the deck. This one here, if I need to hit it off the tee, like on my home course where I play my league, the 3rd hole, like I need to hit this off the tee, and I like to be able to tee it up just a little bit higher and hit this and have a little less worry on it. But a really solid 7-wood. A really solid 7-wood that plays really well whether you're hitting off the tee, hitting off the deck. It's just super versatile. So now this one here has a Mitsubishi Tensei AV Blue. I don't know if they necessarily call this one the Raw anymore, but it was called the AV Raw back in the day, which has this aluminum vapor handle section. So a little stiffer handle, offers some players a little faster tempo. Myself, a little bit more control, a little stiffer there. But again, mid-launch, mid-spin, helps get this thing in the air without getting too high. You know, it just doesn't shoot it straight in the air and have it come down and, you know, you lose some distance. It does have a little bit more penetrating flight, but 75 stiff in this one, plays really well. I know it's the same weight as a 3-wood, but I've messed around with 80 grams in 7-woods, 70 grams in 7-woods, and it doesn't seem to matter. I like the feel both ways. So a good setup here, and one I got fit for when I was out at PXG when Black Ops first released. So that'll be 7-wood, and then 4-iron is going to be hybrid, and it's going to be the Black Ops Hybrid. So this is the 311 Black Ops Hybrid. This is a 4 hybrid, 22 degrees. And I looked at this one here, and it is actually set to standard, the 22 degrees, but in the flat setting. So a little bit flat there. I love again, the fact that PXG puts a bunch of weights on the bottom. So if you're a hybrid player who sits there and goes, man, I hate hybrids, they always go left, take the big heavy weight, throw it out in the toe, you're good to go. This thing is neutral and it goes straight. So mine is actually set, again, heavy weight straight in the back, lighter weights out in the toe and the heel. But this thing here is actually really good. This was my gamer up until like kind of middle of this year. I finally replaced it with another hybrid, but I do love this thing. Again, same thing, deep face on it. You can hit it off the tee, hit it off the deck, but it has no problem hitting it high. It gets up high, it goes straight. It's actually more forgiving than the size. When you look at it, the size is not super huge. It's a fairly compact hybrid, and it's pretty darn forgiving for that size, which I really like. The fact that you can look down on it makes you kind of feel like a better player, aspiring player with that size and shape, but it goes straight, and even when you mishit it, it goes pretty straight and pretty far. But this thing has been really, really solid. I've had rounds where I've hit nothing well, and this has been kind of the savior off the tee and off the deck. So we're going to go with the hybrid here. Again, set in 22 degrees, flat setting, and this is shafted up with a Graphite Design Tour AD VF 85 stiff. So this is the VF hybrid. So this one here is built for hybrids, 85 grams, stiff flex. And even though it's supposed to be kind of more low mid-launch, low spin, it doesn't come out that flat. It really didn't change the trajectory a ton. It's slightly lower than the shaft I had in this originally, which I don't even remember what that was anymore. But this did lower it just a hair, but it still comes out a good high window, still be hitting the green, and have a nice soft landing. So really solid, and I love the feel of this thing. It's a little bit stouter, kind of makes it feel a little bit like more like an iron shaft that doesn't have all the flex of like a driver shaft or a wood shaft, but super stable and really nice in this 4 hybrid. So we're going to play hybrid in that. And then for irons, we're breaking back out the PXG 0311 CBs. This is probably one of the most underrated CB irons out there. 3 times forged. It's got a decent cavity in the back. They're precision weighting, where you can change those weights to make these things, the right swing weight, all that. But I love the shape. I think they did a great job with the shape. It's, the top line isn't razor thin, but the way they round it off and bevel it, it looks pretty thin. A good amount of perimeter weighting on here, and it's just a playable CB. If you don't hit it absolutely flush every time, you can still get away with a pretty good shot. If you miss a little bit off the toe or a little bit off the heel. Now, these aren't built for speed. These don't have super thin faces, so they're not going to be rocket ships or hold on to crazy ball speed across the face. But they do produce really good shots when you miss them. So I like these a lot. They've got a nice kind of cambered sole to them, a little bit of trailing edge relief so they get out of the turf well, but they don't dig. And they actually produce really, really good shots. So I've been really surprised with these. I think a lot of other people who own these or have hit these have been really impressed with how well these play. And yes, it does have like a C9 on there. That was my swing weight before I changed out the heavy weights in here. So these are all running, I think, D1. But these things are really solid. And they're shafted up with the KBS PGI 100s. So these are the PGIs, the Players Graphite Iron Shaft. A little higher launching, a little bit more spin. And for me, I think that works out great. These things, again, the same thing. They throw it up in the air, but they're not like loose, they're tight, they're consistent. And even if you swing it a little bit harder, it doesn't feel like they're getting away from you. So these shafts produce some good height without producing shots that just go everywhere. So big fan of these things. It took me a while to put these together. I finally did in the spring, and then I forgot about them on my shelf. So I ended up pulling them down and putting them in play, and was really, really impressed with them. So these have been great irons. The rounds that I played with them have been really surprised. I've been taking them out more and more since then. So we get into wedges, and I think you're probably going to guess where this is going to go. The first one is going to be my 50 degree, and this, of course, is going to be the PXG Sugar Daddy 3s. I've been a huge fan of these wedges. I've really loved them. The 50 and 56, which are both here, I guess I can pull them both out. 50, 56 have been my gamers all year pretty much. So these are what go in my bag. They're both 10 degree S grinds. So 50 for the gap wedge, 56 for the sand wedge. And they just play really well. The S grind, whether you're hitting full shots with a 50, whether you're kind of playing some shorter, little touch shots around the green, you can kind of throw these soles into the turf. They don't dig. They just kind of hit and glide through. And the big thing for me is these things spin great out of the rough. Here in Metro Detroit, we have kind of longer, lusher rough. And these things just spin really well out of the rough. They tend to check up a little bit harder, a little bit faster than seems like every other wedge, but they've been really, really good. So, and they have a great soft feel. They're forged, fully milled. I think they milled each one of these out of a block of steel, and they are really, really nice. So I've been a big fan of these, and I love the spin that these things produce. It's just been really, really solid. So these both are shafted up with Project X 6.0 wedge shafts. So yeah, this is the wedge version of the Project X shaft. So Project X shaft, what they did with the wedge shaft is, in order to get, like some players like to go a little bit softer in the wedges. You're not hitting as many full shots, as many hard shots. So I like to go a little bit softer. Well, if you wanted to go softer, you probably have to go lighter weight, because if you're playing a 6.0, you might go 5.5, where you're going to go down in weight. And some people didn't want that. So they made a softer shaft at the same weight. So this is 120 grams, but it plays a little bit softer to flex than a traditional Project X 6.0. So, but the cool thing is, if you play Project X 6.0 or 6.5, you just buy the same 6.0, 6.5, whatever you play in the irons. It matches up in the wedges. So really good shafts. I've liked these a lot, actually. They have really good feel to them. I've been a big fan of the Project X wedge shafts. And then for lob wedge, here's the one that's going to be different, because if I'm playing down south where it's a little bit firmer, a little bit sandier, all that, we're going to go with a wedge, a little bit less bounce. So we're going to go with the Vokey SM10, and this is the 60 low bounce K, or the 60 06K. So 6 degrees of bounce. The low bounce K is a little bit wider sole, but very low bounce. And the nice thing about this is that the leading edge stays down, so you can pick it off tight lies and really firm lies. You don't have to worry about it digging in those, but it gets under there no problem. You can kind of open the face a little bit, and you still have some float inside the trap and things like that, because that wide sole, as you open it, you're just going to expose more of that sole, so it's going to glide through there and float through the trap really well. But it plays really solid. And on fuller shots, and I don't really open the face a ton on my 60 unless I absolutely have to. So this plays really well when you're playing a little bit more square to the target. Better players can still manipulate it, but this thing here is really good for firm, tight conditions while still being able to be played out of the bunker fairly well. So we're going to go with the Vokey SM10 low bounce K grind. And this just has a Vokey basically a True Temper Dynamic Gold S200, but the Vokey wedge shaft in there. It's just an S200, a little bit lighter weight. I think these come in at about 125-ish grams, so a little bit lighter than an S300, but they play really well. They're really consistent, and they're good wedge shafts. And then for putter, we're going to go with the PXG Torpedo. So this is kind of one of their newer putters out there, the Torpedo. I love the fact that this one is all blacked out. But yes, when you look at it, you're going to say, just like everybody else, it looks like a spider. And you're 100% right. It does. It looks exactly like a spider. But I love the fact that in this one, instead of having an insert, it's got their diamond face on it. So all steel, diamond face. Has a little firmer feel to it, a little bit more responsiveness, but it's still soft. It still feels good. It only has just like that touch of click when the ball leaves the face. But overall, I like the look of it. I think it's really good. It's kind of got a little heavier weight to it, and it swings really well. The plumber's neck adds just a little bit of toe hang. Not too much. It's almost face balance, but it's got a little bit of toe hang. So if you've got a little bit of arc in your stroke, it tends to match up well. And I like the long single sight line in there. It's easy to line up and play this thing. So when I first played it, I kind of missed everything to the right. Like I couldn't quite square it up. Everything stayed right. But the more I've played it, the more I have been able to kind of get used to how this thing plays. And I've liked it. I think it rolls really well. It's probably one of my favorite PXG putters at the moment in their lineup. I think it's really kind of underrated because people knock the look on it. But I think it performs really well. Sound, feel, all really good. And I think it lines up really well. And this has their M16 half graphite, half steel shaft in it. So a little bit stiffer, a little bit less torque, so a little bit more accurate. And then a, Lambkin skinny, sink fit skinny on here for just a traditional grip. So that's the setup there for putter. So that is my setup for this week's media trip. Again, take a guess at where I'm going. I bet you'll probably be able to figure it out without too many guesses. So that's what I've got for this week. I'm definitely going to play, so I will definitely let you know how that goes. And we will jump into another bag next week. So check back next week, and we'll put another 14 together.